Blu-ray stacking up, yeah, the collection grows. Singing like nobody's watching, let the good times flow. Movies on repeat, yeah, he living that life. Great guy, big heart, yeah, he doing it right. Screen light glowing while the speakers bang. Sammy G vibing to the scenes and the frames. Love for the art, yeah, the passion stay true. From the first press play to the end credits roll.
Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel is going to be part one of my August 2026 watches, where I talk about the vast majority of films that I have watched for the first half of August 2026 there. The vast majority of the films, because there is some obviously I did cover in my unwatched shelf series, like Sons of Katie Elder, which is a decent all-round western, which I did give about a 6 out of 10. Mallrats, again, talked a lot more about this in a great more detail in my unwatched shelf series, and I give that a 7 out of 10, I think. And Nostalgia, which I did do a full-on review for the channel as well. Yeah, I absolutely love making these videos, bringing my letterbox diary to YouTube there, and to go through all the movies that I've watched as each month goes by there. Hence, this monthly watches series. So, the first film I watched in August 2026, I decided to watch Room at the Top. This is from Jack Clayton. Now, I think Blue Roy Movies and Warren at Goose's Movies spoke really highly of this one, and then being both trusted judges when it comes to films, and like many others in the film community, I thought I would buy this in the I think it was in the 2 for £18 vintage classics sale there, and sure I did. And yeah, Room at the Top, this is about an accountant called, I think, Joe, who moves from this kind of, I think this rundown, like this rundown town, I can't remember, it was like this rundown area somewhere. I think it might have even been in the Midlands, I'm not too sure. Then he moves to Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, and actually this is set in my hometown of Halifax. So yeah, this had a nice touch to it, and he basically starts to form a bit of a bond with the this factory owner's daughter, Susan. However, he has a bit of an eye for a older lady going by the name Alice, and yeah, she's in a little bit of a hot and cold like marriage herself, and you start to see they start to spend a lot more intimate time together, and Joe is in the process of landing himself this promotion that he wants to cling on to, and yet he's under a great deal of pressure when he finds out some sudden news that it's going to be life-changing for him when, yeah, Susan does reveal some life-changing news for him. So, yeah, Room at the Top, this was pretty good, actually. I don't think this was an absolute masterpiece, in my opinion, but I can see why it was well revered and well acclaimed. I thought the actors in it did a decent job, I will say, and because I think, yeah, Lawrence Harvey's in there, and this, I think, is based off a book as well. The actress in it was fantastic as well. So yeah, and it was good to see a bit of a time capsule in a way, to see Halifax, West Yorkshire, back in the late 1950s there. So Room at the Top, I'm going to give a 7.5 out of 10 there. Then I went to Tyneside Cinema. Well, you could say I was enjoying this film so dearly much on this rewatch. I was all out of bubblegum. They Live from John Carpenter. Oh, what a film. What a film this is. Yeah, I've really great as They Live, where you follow Roddy Piper. He's this drifter. He's looking for labouring work in LA. and you see he's basically sort of trying to ease his way into this society, but then he encounters there's this police raid afoot. The next day he encounters a box of sunglasses. When he puts these sunglasses on, about capitalism and consume, and he basically wants to warn mankind and the human race about these messages that he has encountered before anyone else, that's gonna kind of change humankind forever. But yeah, he finds out when he puts these sunglasses on, these citizens is kind of this alien kind. And yeah, just such a boss film is They Live. I just love the chemistry between Roddy Piper and Keith David. I would have loved to see them 2 more films together. You know, fight scene is gotta be contender for, you know, like the most ongoing fight scene you might ever see in a film. And yeah, just again, I love kind of the final act where they just, you know, taking out these guys, and then, you know, they're going around like this. I think they go to this ballroom, but they go by this like warehouse as well. It's just so good. And the scene where he goes to that big house as well, like where he finds like this lady there, and there's a bit of a twist in the air with her character. Just really good film, and that ending is mesmerizing as well. So They Live, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. Spider-Man Brand New Day. And now when I watched No Way Home, I was absolutely blown away by it. I was wowed by what a sheer class cinema experience that was. I absolutely loved No Way Home. One of the best cinematic experiences for me. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this is gonna upset some people here, because I know how much love this is getting at the minute, Brand New Day. But I thought it was good, but it's just not top tier Marvel for me, guys. I'm sorry. That might upset some people, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I just think it was a bit, I don't know, I really wanted to like it more than I did, truly did. But I just came out of the cinema and I was thinking this was good, but I just found it a bit long in the tooth with the runtime. And John Bernthal, he was a good Punisher. I would love to see this guy have his own solo Punisher one day. Good to see Tom Holland in there, the returning cast with Ned, and obviously Zendaya as MJ in this. Zendaya's fucking beautiful. Doctor Strange cast that spell for Peter Parker. Basically, people forget Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he's doing a full-time job as Spider-Man, where, you know, he's taking on these criminals, but then he discovers that his abilities are starting to change. He's you know, like there's these telepaths that are starting to overtake and overpower him, and you know, when he's trying to fly and, you know, spin the web, and it, you know, kind of a couple of similar aspects to what you would get in Spider-Man 2. Obviously, this is where, like, you get Jean Grey to come in there as well. He thinks there's this new device that, obviously, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, can help him with, like, this, you know, like, as I say, because it, like, his powers and this sort of, this telepath is starting to kind of go a little bit AWOL and a bit out of hands, to say the least. Hulk stuff was a bit fillerish for me, and as I said, I did enjoy the stuff with the Punisher. It was interesting where you find MJ's starting to rediscover Peter Parker and Spider-Man. But yeah, I think it's not this magnificent Spider-Man film it's been made to be. Whilst I did think the special effects, you know, the music was pretty good to this. It was a bit of a slow burner. You see it kind of like with Spider-Man 2, although it's nowhere as good as Spider-Man 2 in my opinion anyway. It's like a character study with Peter Parker again here. But I did really enjoy the alternate season in this as well. But yeah, I think it got a bit overhyped for me, this one, guys. And I can't say I'm really too excited for Avengers Doomsday right this minute. I know I don't want to be a bit of a party crasher there, but yeah, I've been on a bit of the Marvel burnout recently, but it was still good. It was fine. Hopefully my second viewing, my opinion will change. So Spider-Man, Brand New Day, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 there. 28 Days with Sandra Bullock. Also got Viggo Mortensen in there as well. And I think Steve Buscemi is in this film as well, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you've got a pretty decent cast, to be fair. And Sandra Bullock, she attends like her sister's wedding. She finds out she got a bit too tipsy, drunk at this wedding, and then she finds she's in this car accident, and she has the choice to either go to rehab or spend some time in prison. So she goes on this 28-day program with rehab to overcome her drinking habits. And yeah, this was a pretty decent watch, actually, guys. Not a film I would go back to an awful lot, to be honest. Actually, I do remember as well one of the other patients in this film. It was the same actress who was in Secrets and Lies. She was in that other Mike Leigh film I watched fairly recently, Hard Truths. She was in there. Interesting to see, like, her to-be husband visits her here and there. But yeah, she's actually starting to have a bit of a bond with Viggo Mortensen. So yeah, I think the guy who plays Sandra Bullock's love interest, I'm pretty sure he's been in, like, I think was he in 4 Weddings, and I think he might have been in the Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol. He's been in a couple other things, but yeah, this is a decent watch though. 28 Days, I'm going to give a 6.5 out of 10. Then I watched part of the summer watch list. I did watch Heavyweights, and this is directed by Stephen Brill. And yeah, Ben Stiller, I think Jerry Stiller's in this as well. And this was all right. Yeah, this was okay. I quite enjoyed this. Yeah, a decent film. And not going to be a rewatchable film for me, but I still enjoyed it all the same. Where you've got these like youngsters, these scouts that go to this like summer camp to lose weight, and they're kind of on this program to try and lose weight. You discover this camp was bought by this ruthless, like, kind of leader played by Ben Stiller, who is a bit of an arsehole in this film. I've got to say, he's quite funny at times, but he plays a bit of a, yeah, he does play a bit of a sly fox in this film, I've got to be fair. But you get this other like scout leader in it, and he's such a good supporting role, actually. He's really good with the main kid in it, and yeah, I'll say I did like the scenes where they're playing these summer activities. They're trying to hide all these sweets and chocolate so Ben Stiller doesn't get his fingerprints on them. Otherwise, it's evidence he would have ate chocolate all along. But yeah, it was a decent summery watch, actually, guys. If it knew what it was going for. Heavyweights, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Now, yeah, I'll go for 6 out of 10. Stand By Me. Wonderful film. Absolutely marvellous. Yeah, I watched my 4K copy again. And like again, because I watched it on 4K the last time I watched it, and yeah, I think the 4K is just the way I'm gonna watch it from now on. Now, when it comes to this film, and when watching it at home, I just think this is absolutely marvelous. You know, the definitive coming of age story based on the short story by Stephen King. And, you know, when you've got, like, let's say, Corey Feldman, River Phoenix, Will Wheaton, and you've obviously got Ace, Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, and as I say, I just love that summary setting. So many iconic moments. Vernon Gordy running across the train tracks so they don't get run over by that train. And yeah, obviously Ace and his buddies as playing like golf with these these letterboxes. It's just, yeah, it's just wonderful. The whole leech scene, the pie eating contest. Yeah, I could go on about this film till the cows come home, but we all know Stand By Me, and just wonderfully directed by Rob Reiner. Yeah, I'm going to give that a full 10 out of 10 there. Then I went to Tyneside Cinema to go and see Playtime from Jack to T, my first Jack to T film, and yeah, I thought this was really interesting. I really did enjoy this, where you follow Monsieur Hewlett, who basically is on an assignment, a mission to make this contact with someone calling from America, and he basically finds himself in this sort of perplexing, futuristic setting within like Paris. And yeah, he's, as say, when he goes to, it's almost like a convention, almost, when you look at it, this futuristic convention, that was a good, that was quite fun to say. And yeah, he just finds that there's obviously, there would be, I don't know, like the next exhibition with like kind of, it could be like this restaurant, there's like a, these apartments, this office blocks, and it's kind of like the way it's just laid out, and he's kind of dealing with all this chaos, but all with surrounding with these tourists around him. And he's finding it a bit of a whirlpool of stress there. But when he meets, you know, like his friend in there, and then he kind of makes the film a bit more like extra bit, you know, like delightful, really. But yeah, I did enjoy this. Again, it's probably one of these, on second subsequent viewing, I might get more out of aspects that I might kind of soak up and appreciate more on second viewing. And second viewing sometimes is the way to do it when it comes to movies. As I always say, I think second viewings can really enhance and make that more extra impact on what you missed on that first time viewing. And I think this, I've got a feeling it's going to do it again on second view. But yeah, just loved, again, the way the film was laid out. That whole restaurant scene was probably my favourite part of the movie. And that roundabout with the cars and the buses, just, yeah, good film. That Playtime, I'm going to give a 7.5 out of 10 there. Booksmart, pretty much the, I would say the female version of Superbad, whilst I don't think it's as good as Superbad in my opinion. I do think this is a very solid, you know, coming of age comedy drama film. And Beanie Feldstein and the other actress who's been in things like, she was in Short Term 12. She's been in a couple other things. But yeah, Booksmart, yeah, good coming of age comedy film. That scene where they threaten the pizza driver, they try to hide their disguises, and that whole animation sketch as well. That theatrical house party, I did enjoy that as well on rewatch. And yeah, the guy who's, yeah, like I say, he's obviously in charge of this play, and yeah, that he's just got that really sarcastic wit with him. Yeah, it's a very good time as this, and yeah, again, a really good, I think, directorial debut from Olivia Wilde, and I say she went on to directing The Invite very recently, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to that one as well, actually. And yeah, just where you follow these two girls about to graduate, and the night before their graduation, they go on a last night out together to get into this house party. Yeah, good film, that, Booksmart. It's pretty good, and hopefully this will get a Blu-ray release in the future in the UK, because it's worthy of it. So I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10 there. Right, and then the next film I watched is The Whackness. This is directed by Jonathan Levine, and this came out 2008, and it is set in 1994 in the summer in New York. And wow, that was quite fun to say as well. And yeah, he's basically has these therapy sessions with this psychiatrist, but in order to have these sessions, the therapy, he has to do this drug trade with his psychiatrist. And little does he know, I think his friends have gone away for the summer, and little does he know, he falls for this doctor's daughter there. So yeah, The Whackness, this was pretty good, actually. Good chemistry by the main pairing in there, and yeah, Ben Kingsley was he was a bit off his rocker at times, but yeah, he did play a good supporting role in this. And yeah, I think I quite enjoyed when they would just be going to this bar or this nightclub together. I think Ben Kingsley would get into an argument with someone that I find rather amusing. There was a good scene where they're on the beach, and really cool hip-hop soundtrack in there as well. Interesting family side plot there, where the young guy in this film is finding out that their apartment is being evicted, and in Manhattan, it's all leading up to that. So yeah, decent watch, that one. I did enjoy that one, actually. The Whackness, I'm going to give that 7 out of 10. Then I had a rewatch of Come On Barbie, Let's Go Party, Barbie. So yeah, Barbie, I haven't actually seen this since the cinema, and I watched the 4K. The 4K, fair play, was pretty impeccable, especially when you've got Margot Robbie in 4K. Poof, indeed, beautiful. But yeah, I've got to say, Barbie, when I watched this at the cinema, I loved it, and I think it was just because of the cinematic experience and the crowd and that. But whilst I don't think it was as good as that first time viewing at the cinema for me, I still think it was enjoyable. I think I dropped it from a 4 to a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, but I still really enjoyed it. Yeah, obviously Barbie that going to this, reality that she's never encountered before. She's wanting to find the owner of this Barbie doll, and to kind of remind herself of those cherished memories of being that she is obviously this idealistic Barbie figure. And yeah, and obviously Ryan Gosling as Ken in there. He's a bit of a goofy character in this, but I can't help but love him. But yeah, Ryan Gosling's just one of the best actors in Hollywood's working right now, isn't he? And yeah, he plays such a charismatic role to this. Very bright, very colourful, very, crash band wallop sort of feel about it. But it's a good film, and really and definitely a good one for the summer. Love that kind of the battle between the Barbies and the Kens as well. Yeah, and obviously there's Barbie Ken and there's Alan, played by Michael Cera. That scene where he appears in that car, that's Still quite an amusing scene. So yeah, good film, that Barbie. Not as good as the first time I saw it, but yeah, I still enjoyed that one. I'll still give it a 7 out of 10. Holy shit, guys. Have I got a double bill to tell you right here. I went to go and see Tetsu the Iron Man, Tetsu Body Hammer. Tetsu the Iron Man is known for being a bit of a Marmite cults film, and being compared to Eraserhead, which, oh yeah, hell yeah, I love it. Love Eraserhead. And it's very kind of eccentric driven. It's very out there. It's kind of sort of very mesmerizing and a bit ambiguous. And very experimental, off the wall, Lynchian-esque all the merry way there. But guys, Tetsu the Iron Man, what did I think to it? I fucking loved it. I fucking loved every minute of this. Wow, this was a movie. This was a movie. Holy shit. Now, I can't tell you every single detail of what goes on in this film because it's batshit insane. But my goodness, the editing, the practical work, and that whole industrial sound mixing as well, it really, it kind of drives it up to third gear, but it's so fascinating, it's so fantastic. I mean, when you get like these fast-paced movements and, you know, like you get this businessman that's just walking along like this, like, it's like this sort of, by this industrial warehouse, and then you find he's kind of discovered this new species, this new plague that he's never encountered before, and then it's kind of taken over by like maggots, and then it kind of develops into like metal, and then he's starting to be overpowered by it, and then he's obviously he's got this love spell with this lady, and their intimacy, oh my god, when they really get it on in this film, they really, it's like a love scene I've never ever seen in this film, where this new experiment comes to town, and it's so batshit, but it is batshit glory here. I just love the design with that kind of that metal figure as well, and just, and as I say, it's like there was kind of some there was some I'm trying to think, there's some razor sharp, some even some gory elements to there as well. Fucking hell, that drill scene as well, that's something that I've not seen in a film quite like it before. But yeah, I absolutely loved this. This is one of the best first-time watches of the year. I'm going to give that a 9.5 out of 10. Body Hammer wasn't as good as the Iron Man, but do you know what, guys? It was still very good indeed. And yeah, I might be in the minority with my rating with Body Hammer. I know it's not as revered and you know, on the level of a beloved cult film in the fashion of the Tetsu the Iron Man, but I still think it was a very solid follow-up, obviously, because the first film's in black and white, this is in colour, and you follow more of like a family plot to this. It's very kind of different in layer and style to it, but when there's like this whole, like these like kind of these factory workers, and you discover that there's kind of this new species that is afoot there, and when it kind of overpowers and overtakes it. Again, it makes for a whole new kettle of fish when you least expect it. And yeah, I thought that some good practical work yet again here, some good action set pieces. I thought the main guy, this family man, he did a good job in there. And yeah, it had a bit of I think it had a bit of a callback to his like family tree as well, which I thought was an interesting part of the film as well. And that setting with the factory was decent. That I think there was that big tank towards the end as well, army that comes into there as well. It's got so much going for it, but yeah, and definitely in a different tone and style compared to its predecessor there. So yeah, Body Hammer, I give that an 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, what a cracking double bill this was. I want to check out more of this director's work now after seeing this. But yeah, thanks to Tim, actually. Tim was the one that recommended Tetsu the Iron Man, and Tim, thank you, mate, because I bloody loved my time with that first film, and the second film was really good as well. Tetsu the Iron Man body horror, I'm going to have to get this on Blu-ray at some point. Hell yeah, bring it on. That was an excellent double bill, right? And it only gets just as marvellous as this with a first-time watch at Tyneside Cinema with Harakiri from 1962. Now, yeah, I know Roy, I think it was Roy, actually, who I found out about this film, because Roy, did mention this a couple of years ago and saying, Sam, if you're getting really into like samurai cinema, take a look at this. This will be worth taking a look at because you might really enjoy this. And Roy was absolutely right on the money with that, because I watched this at Tyneside Cinema, and yeah, Roy, hats off to you, because this was brilliant. This was excellent again here. I tell you what, guys, my top 10 best first time watches of the year, when I come to doing that video January, holy shit, it's gonna be interesting already what's going to make that top 10, because I've watched some brilliant first-time watches this year. But yeah, this was really good. I mean, about this samurai warrior, this like Ronin, who basically rolls into like this palace estate where it's led by this clan, and it's set in the 17th century in Japan. He's basically I think is it Sahiro, I think it is, and he's wanting to kind of end his life in this palace and to be in peace. Firstly, there is this backstory involved about like his like family, about this family backstory, and how this samurai warrior is just well trained and, you know, really takes on this like ruthless, like this clan and this rival to his backstory. And that was just fascinating, learning about this samurai warrior, this clan. You know, how he and the whole knowing that there's someone else of this same clan that also requested this once upon a time ago, and he learns that through this warlord. And it was just a fantastic watch. Like, again, I loved the close-up stills of this display piece as well. I really liked the layout, like this like obviously this palace and this temple as well, and real emotional beats within that, obviously that family backstory. And, you know, like with there's a character within that who becomes very, very ill, and yeah, it's quite it's got a bit of an emotional ride involved, but yeah, just a really good samurai film again, kind of more of a character study as well in regards to a samurai tale, and I just really admired it for that. So yeah, thanks so much, Roy, and I'll definitely be getting this one on Blu-ray at some point. I was watching Roy's weekly watches, right, and you know, when he talks about each film, he goes into like, you know, like in-depth about each film. I just love that about Roy's channel, and he did that a few weeks back with his film, and I thought, yeah, that was a reminder I need to get onto this film sooner rather than later, sort of thing. So Harakiri, what a film. Roy, what a guy. Thank you, mate. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. Going back on my Nolan kick yet again here, I had a rewatch of Interstellar. My goodness, guys, it's only getting better, isn't it? This was also pretty damn incredible. I mean, who doesn't love Interstellar, right? This was fantastic on rewatch. First time watching this film in over a decade. Man alive, it still lived up indeed. Matthew McConaughey, who discovers that the Earth evidence comes to light that it's starting to uncontrollably be on a bit of a kind of a catastrophic sort of downfall there, and yeah, it's being rapidly affected, and it is for Matthew McConaughey, this who works on this farm, and this team of NASA astronauts to go on this vital space mission to find a new viable planet and a new home for not only him but for all humankind to transport to when Earth starts to lose its inhabitants and you know, kind of become rapidly affected as the years go by. And yeah, the Interstellar's it's just what a wonderful film this is. Absolutely stunning. I mean, from a visual scale, the 2 hours and 45 minutes it zips by, it's one of them. And that, again, Hans Zimmer, who does the music in this, the choice of actors with Anne Hathaway, you've got Matt Damon, Michael Caine, God bless you, Sir Michael Caine. Of course, how can I forget Jessica Chastain? And I just love that whole family side plot to this film as well. It's so fascinating where the years just fast forward, they're aging, and yet the astronauts are still looking the same as they were when they left planet Earth. And yeah, that, as I say, when they just go in outer space, and again, the visual side of it is a spectacle, a delight to watch on screen. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. One of Nolan's finest. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Interstellar, I'm going to give that a 9.5 out of 10 there. After Sun from Charlotte Wells, starring Paul Mescal and Frankie Coco, and yeah, this is a film I try and watch every year now. I absolutely love and adore this film. It's kind of a great sort of family-driven film with this main father and daughter going to Turkey on holiday, and Sophie, the main character, looking back on her fulfilling memories with her father, played by Paul Mescal. And yeah, the scene with Under Pressure by Queen hits you like a ton of bricks when you watch this. So many emotional beats. And yeah, as I say, really, I think the soundtrack's pretty underrated to this one as well, I will say. Beautiful music score to this as well. I've talked about it on my channel before, but yeah, and that whole quote with "we share the same sky" as well. The scene by the swimming pool and the use of the cameras and just, yeah, and the digital cameras. Well, yeah, absolutely love After Sun. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 there. Tenet, for the first time since the cinema as well. And yeah, Tenet, I'm going to be honest, when I first watched this film at the cinema during the pandemic, I wouldn't say I didn't dislike it, this film. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it. But I did want to go back and rewatch it off the back of being on this Nolan kick at the minute. And do you know what, guys? It is confusing as hell, this film, but I really enjoyed it on this second watch. I really did. Yeah, really enjoyable. I will say the main protagonist is not the best engaging, charismatic leading character you're ever going to meet on screen, but he does a decent job working part this organization Tenet, where he has to collect these objects in order to save the world, but also it sort of evolves about like changing time, and he has to get this sort of device from Kenneth Branagh, who it collects sort of this data that's going to involve kind of the future to come sort of thing. And yeah, and so there's a bit of an interesting backstory with that with Kenneth Branagh's character. But yeah, when they've got to go on a mission to collect these objects that's going to kind of fast forward or go backwards with time. And yeah, Robert Pattinson was probably my favourite character in this film. Would have liked seen a lot of more of Sir Michael Caine, I will say, but that scene with the plane in the airport, the scene where he's on the car and then he goes from the back of his fire engine onto this car, and then that whole sort of this sort of final act where it has this time war towards the end. There was a couple of good action set pieces. That opening scene's pretty solid as well at that venue. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable film at Tenet. Not going to be a rewatchable film for me, and you know, as I say, it's definitely a bit of a mind-bending experience, but it's kind of what Nolan does best with these films, doing something creative and sort of out of the blue, really. And I'm really looking forward to going back to Inception at some point, because I tell you what, I've not seen that for a number of years. So yeah, I think that might be the one I might go back to next, actually, and revisit. So yeah, Tenet is a good time. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 there. Then I watched for the first time part of the summer watch list, Hunky Dory from 2011, I think starring Minnie Driver, and I think one of the actors was in that Matt Smith two-parter with the Silurians and Doctor Who, and it was all right. It was a bit average for me, this film. Yeah, it was all right. It was kind of like this musical of The Tempest, based on The Tempest, and they kind of do this version of The Tempest, but to involve kind of 60s and 70s songs like the Beatles, David Bowie and ELO. Whilst I admire it was doing something a bit different there, I did like Minnie Driver's character, and I thought, as I say, it was... I think I probably did like the idea of this film better than the execution of the film itself. As I say, decent. I think, to be honest, you were just following too many characters, in like so many places. And I think, to be honest, this film just didn't really know what it wanted it to be after a while. But yeah, and also you had the guy... the other guy in this film actually who's been in kind of, I think he was in This Is England. He's been in a couple other things as well. It was a bit of a standard, you know, I think the 70s aesthetic was decent all the same. There was some decent moments. I did quite like the musical side of the film with the Tempest and and with the featured renditions and the covers as well. That was good, but yeah, just a lot of the characters just didn't do much for me. And would I watch this one again, guys? I don't know if I would bother, to be honest. I think if I'm gonna watch something along the lines of this, I'm probably gonna go back and rewatch Sing Straight over this any day, to be honest. So yeah, Hunky Dory, not a great one, that one. To be honest, I'm gonna give that a 5.5 out of 10 there. Mystic Pizza, from 1988, Julia Roberts and her sister work at this, this pizza place, this pizza restaurant, and yeah, just enjoying their summer. One of their friends, I think's just come out of a bit of a relationship where she was gonna be married, and then she her marriage marriage comes crashing down, and then Julia Roberts meets someone at the bar, this rich guy who she introduces to her family, and the other lass in there, the other lady, Julia Roberts' sister, she meets, I think she's been enrolled at this university. She meets this rich guy, and also they start to have a bit of a bond. I think the guy's a lot older than her, but yeah, she offers to babysit his young daughter in there. So yeah, it kind of does focus on different sets of characters, but it was pretty decent actually on rewatch. I think I would have liked to seen more scenes in the pizza restaurant and the business. I think I would have liked to see more of that, really kind of the cooking, the restaurant family heritage side of it. That would have been a bit more interesting. Decent to see Matt Damon in his debut role in this as well. So yeah, Mystic Pizza, sorry, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10 there. Then I did watch a couple of westerns. I watched Dodge City with Errol Flynn, and this came out in 1939, about this town in Kansas that's been gone in harm's way by these thieves and this gang, these criminals, these bandits that have been involved, until one day there is a bit of a clean slate afoot here once this new sheriff rolls into town, played by Errol Flynn, who kind of stands for no nonsense and wants this whole town to be cleaned up and to kind of be revamped as well in this western town. And yeah, you see he has a bit of a love triangle, and there's a couple of his other friends are there by his side, but there is some of the bandits that who have previously invaded this town before that do come back into the picture here. So yeah, this was all right. This was pretty decent, actually. I did quite enjoy this. I did like the whole technicolor side of it as well. One of the earliest westerns I think I've seen now, actually, with it being from 1939. Yeah, so it's going to be one of the earliest westerns I've seen now. But yeah, I did think it was a bit of a slow burn of a lot of dialogue-driven scenes which I do like, that doesn't tend to bother me as such, but those dialogue-driven scenes did teeter and waver on a little bit, but yeah, I did really like the scene with like obviously the railroads and the and when like the train rolls into town, and yeah, there was a good kind of love spell to this one as well, and really well acted. So yeah, Dodge City, I'm gonna give that a 6 out of 10 as well. The other Western I watched recently was The Scalp Hunters with Burt Lancaster, and yeah, this was just okay for me, where Joe Bass, played by Burt Lancaster, who sets out on a mission with Ozzie Davis, who is forced to make a trade for these furs and belongings that was stolen by this group of like scalp hunters, these this group and this group of Indians in this film as well. And yeah, Burt Lancaster wants to go, Joe Bass wants to go on this vital mission to reclaim his belongings for Ozzie Davis' character. And yeah, he tries to track down their hideouts, their locations, because they basically are on a bit of a murderous spree as well in this film. And basically Joe Bass wants to kind of lurk around from each distance to keep a wide berth but an eye on like these scalp hunters, these this tribe that's going on this murderous spree. And yeah, basically for Ozzie Davis, I think he's called Lee, I think his character, to collect any worthy information to pass on back to Joe Bass in this film. And yeah, this was a decent Western actually. Really enjoyed the journey between Ozzie Davis and Burt Lancaster. The actress, the main actress in this, did a really good job in this as well. Some good shootout scenes as well. Yeah, I did quite enjoy this one as well. And yeah, definitely with that kind of that isolated, deserted part as well. Part of this location, this film, where it's got this isolated sort of like deserted part. I thought that was a really cool place where this wagon was. But yeah, I did really like the kind of the whole revenge scheme afoot here that Joe Bass had in mind. And yeah, a bit of a slice of revenge as well, and a bit of a slice of, you know, like kind of go Western action, learning the backstory to why Joe Bass is on this kind of vital journey in this mission. Yeah, it was a decent watch, and good to see another film by Sidney Pollack, who's a director that I do want to get more into Sidney Pollack's filmography, because I feel like I'm a bit late to the party with this director. So yeah, The Scalp Hunters, I'm going to give a 6.5 out of 10 there. A film that Ollie recommended to me, I think it was earlier this year, I want to say, and that is a film called The Meddler. This is got Rose Byrne, Susan Sarandon, and J.K. Simmons. Love J.K. Simmons. I actually want to see more J.K. Simmons films that I've not seen as well, actually. And The Meddler is about, yeah, this like wedding planner, this like lady, where she basically has this sum of money where she decides that she's going to lend that to this to be bride, where she's basically making this wedding plans, and Susan Sarandon decides to like help her out with that, but also with this like film set in this film as well, whilst her daughter, played by Rose Byrne, is away back in New York, and she's trying to pick up the pieces with like her like bittersweet relationship there. But then but yeah, like her ex-boyfriend is back in town and he's starting to spice things up in the kitchen, where he's encountered he's encountered Susan Sarandon as character, but and that he's already moved on with his life. But you've also got when during this film set that this police officer played by J.K. Simmons starts to fall for Susan Sarandon, and they start to have a bit of a love spell. And I tell you what, guys, I actually wish that was the main focus of this film, J.K. Simmons and Susan Sarandon, because I tell you what, I adored their chemistry in this film. If it was just them and Rose Byrne, whilst I did find it still rather interesting what was going on with that, I guess Rose Byrne could have been a more of a background supporting role in this film, we should say, but mainly we're following Susan Sarandon and following for J.K. Simmons. I kind of wish that was throughout the entirety of the film, but still with what the film had going for it, it was still a very good time. Really enjoyed this. This is a lovely little indie drama, this. Ash, I probably would recommend this one to you, mate. I think you might like this film, and very underrated. I don't hear anyone talk about this film at all. So The Meddler, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 there. And the last film for this video, so basically I went on to Letterboxd and I searched the cast, Dakota Fanning, because I was adding the film Dreamer to my watch list, and I came across this film, Please Stand By, from 2018, and this was a really good surprise, actually. I really enjoyed this. Dakota Fanning, who plays, I think it's Wendy, the leading character, who is also on the autism spectrum as well. So yeah, this is a film that I definitely could resonate with. And yeah, Dakota Fanning, who has got a bit of a routine. She goes to, I think she works at this like, I think it's like a bagel store. I think she likes to watch Star Trek. She's in this residential home, and then she decides one day that she's gonna sign up for this competition to write her own script for a future Star Trek episode, and the deadline is on this certain dates in February. And then she goes to Paramount Studios to hand in like her own written script, but she has to go to LA. She travels to LA to do so, and yeah, this was a pretty good time of a film, actually. Good to see Toni Collette as a good supporting role in this, and I really just enjoyed this journey that she went on. She kind of really followed her own kind of optimism and belief that she was going to get there on time, and you find out where the film goes. A bit of a character twist that I didn't see coming from a mile off during the film, whilst you see this character and like who's interacting with Dakota Fanning, but then yeah, you see there's a character twist there that I didn't expect. So yeah, very solid indie drama that. Please Stand By It. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. So guys, that's been it for part 1 of my August 2026 watches. Do let me know in the comments down below, have you seen any of these films and what's your thoughts on them? I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below there. And yeah, talking about the movies themselves is the fun of it all, isn't it? Also, do you agree with some of the films I've talked about here? Do you think I'm talking at the back of my head and I'm talking a load of hogwash? I would love to know all that good stuff in the comments down below, guys, because that's the fun of it all at the end of the day. So anyways, hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend, and bring on the next episode, which will be the latest episode of the Unwatched Shell series, which I cannot wait for, all bloody ready, because these monthly watches and the Unwatched Shell series videos, they are my favourite videos to make on this channel. So, yeah, can't wait for the next episode of the Unwatched Shelf series already during the week there. So thanks for watching. Cheers for stopping by. And until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Love you all.